Welcome to the longest running quiz show in the area. Categories. High school students compete to answer questions on topics from art to science, history to current events. And now, here's your categories host, John Bartell.
Hi, welcome to Categories and our second semifinal game, putting our second seed Blue Valley versus our third seed Shawnee Mission West. And let's go ahead and meet our competitors first for the Tigers.
I'm Gotham, class of 2011.
Alan, class of 2011.
Holden, class of 2011.
Alan, class of 2012.
James, class of 2012.
And our competitors for the Vikings.
I'm Victor and I'm a senior.
I'm Travis and I'm a senior.
I'm Cole and I'm a junior.
I'm Evan and I'm a senior.
I'm Juliet and I'm a sophomore.
All right, fantastic. And here in the playoffs, we conduct our first round like we do during the regular season, in which a team is asked a question. If a team misses, the other team will get a chance to steal. We did a coin toss before we started taping, and it was won by Shawnee Mission West, so Vikings. Here is the first category. It's science chemistry. Chemical elements have been named after planets, scientists, and numbers. What is the only element to be named after an American state? Evan.
Californium.
Californium is correct. Tigers, literature is the category, and 2 answers are required on this. His 1952 East of Eden went through 3 new printings in June 2003 after it was chosen as the first selection of a TV personality's revived book club. Name him and her. Holden?
Steinbeck and Braunheiser.
That is incorrect. Vikings, chance to steal this literature category. 2 answers are required. His 1952 East of Eden went through 3 new printings in July 2003 after it was chosen as the first selection of a TV personality's revived book club. Yes, Travis.
Steinbeck and Oprah.
Steinbeck and Oprah is correct. Vikings, you do get the next category, and it is anatomy. It's the partition separating the 2 nasal cavities. What is it called? Cole?
A sinus.
It is not the sinus. Tigers, chance to steal this anatomy question. It is the partition separating the 2 nasal cavities. It is called what? Gotham?
The nasal membrane.
It is not the nasal membrane, it's the septum. Septum. Tigers, you do get a next category, and that is history inventors. Who invented the safety razor? Gotham?
Gillette.
It is Gillette. Vikings, literature is the category. The Count of Monte Cristo was written by one of the most prolific authors of all time. Who? Cole.
Alexandre Dumas.
Dumas is correct. Blue Valley, U.S. history is your category. What organization sponsored Robert Peary's 1909 expedition to the North Pole? Gotham?
The East India Tea Company.
It is not, that is not correct. Vikings, chance to steal this U.S. history question. What organization sponsored Robert Peary's 1909 expedition to the North Pole? Cole?
The U.S. government.
It is not the U.S. government. It's the National Geographic Society. Shawnee Mission West, you do get the next category. It's science species. From 2 Greek words meaning first animals, they are members of a phylum of unicellular animals reproducing by fission. Most are aquatic. What are they? Victor?
Protozoa.
Protozoa is correct. Blue Valley, vocabulary is the category. Ampicillin, streptomycin, penicillin. What is the collective name for these substances? Gotham.
Antibiotics.
Antibiotics is correct. U.S. geography is your category west. Manhattan is, of course, a part of New York City. But what is a large U.S. city? But in what large U.S. city is there a suburb called Manhattan Beach? Cole?
San Francisco.
It is not San Francisco. Tigers, chance to steal this U.S. geography question. Manhattan is, of course, a part of New York City. But in what large U.S. city is there a suburb called Manhattan Beach? Elin?
Los Angeles.
Los Angeles is correct. Tigers, next category for you is art terminology. Derived from an Italian word meaning to load, this method of artistic expression creates a comic effect by exaggerating particular characteristics of a person. Elin?
Caricature.
Caricature is correct. And you have evened up the score at 4 apiece. Vikings, ancient history is your category. The lamp of the world is extinguished, and it is the whole world which was perished in the ruins of this one city. St. Jerome was referring to what ancient city? Cole?
Rome.
Rome is correct. Blue Valley, science, chemistry. What 3 elements besides iron make up the alloy alnico, used for making magnets? Gotham.
Aluminum, nickel, and cobalt.
Cobalt, that would be the 3rd one. Very good. Science, agriculture for you Vikings. Sugarcane has been a source of sugar since antiquity. The only other source of sugar has been exploited only for the last 150 years. Name that vegetable. Cole.
A sugar beet.
A sugar beet is correct. Blue Valley, world geography. Between what 2 major oceans does Australia lie? James?
The Indian Ocean and the Pacific Ocean.
Those are the 2. Fine arts for you, Vikings. What kind of piece is performed at the very end of a concert after much applause? Julia?
An encore.
An encore is correct. Blue Valley, literature, Shakespeare. The leading character of Hamlet is a Dane. Of which Shakespearean tragedy is the title character a Moor? Gotham?
Othello.
Othello is correct. Current events for you, Vikings, and it's a multiple choice. The American Academy of Pediatrics announced that it supports legislation banning the use of what by teens? Energy drinks, junk food, cell phones, or tanning beds? Cole.
Tanning beds.
It is tanning beds. Blue Valley, music, pianos to be specific. A grand piano of the smallest size is called a baby grand. What do we call a grand piano of the largest size? Elin?
Concert grand.
Concert grand is correct. Shawnee Mission West, economics is the category. A business organization consisting of more than one owner, all of such owners being liable for the payments of all debts contracted to the extent of each owner's personal property, is called what? Cole?
Corporation.
It is not a corporation. Tigers, chance to steal this economics question. A business organization consisting of more than one owner, all of such owners being liable for the payments of all debts contracted to the extent of each owner's personal property, is called what? James?
Joint stock company.
It is not a joint stock company, it's a partnership. A partnership. Tigers, you do get the next category, world geography. Which of the following countries does not border Israel? Egypt, Jordan, Saudi Arabia, or Syria? Holden?
Saudi Arabia.
Saudi Arabia is correct. U.S. government for you, West. The U.S. Supreme Court explains decisions in documents called what? Cole?
Decisions.
It is not decisions. Tigers, chance to steal this U.S. government category. Elin?
Opinions.
Opinions is correct. Blue Valley, you do get the next category. It's math statistics. In statistics, a descriptive measure computed from or used to describe a population of data, such as the median age of all white males in the United States, is called what? Elin?
Measure of central tendency.
I cannot accept that. Vikings, chance to steal this math statistics category. In statistics, a descriptive measure computed from or used to describe a population of data, such as the median age of all white males in the United States, is called what? Evan?
A parameter.
A parameter is correct. Vikings, you get the next category, and it is poetry. What is the title of the poem by Milton opening with the awakening of the rebel angels in hell after their fall from heaven? Time on that. Tigers, chance to steal this poetry question. Elin?
Paradise Lost.
Paradise Lost is correct. Blue Valley, you do get the next question. It is sports. How many drivers can start in the Indy 500? Gotham, I see you that you are ringing it. Go ahead, Gotham.
50.
It is not 50. Vikings, chance to steal the sports category. How many drivers can start in the Indy 500? Cole?
28.
It's not 28, it is 33. 33. Vikings, you do get the next category, however, and it is vocabulary. More generally, this word means a shape or outline having successive curves. It also describes a similar pattern in the hair, often created by a permanent. What is it? Julia?
Wave.
Wave, that is correct. General knowledge for you, Tigers. What Connecticut city is home to the Coast Guard Academy? Gotham?
Hartford.
It is not Hartford. Vikings, chance to steal this general knowledge category. What Connecticut city is home to the Coast Guard Academy? Cole?
New Haven.
It is not New Haven. It is New London. New London. Vikings, you do get the next category, science, species. This big African antelope has a large head, long curved horns, thin legs, and a horse-like tail. It's one of the speediest animals of southern Africa. What is it called? Cole?
A gazelle.
It is not a gazelle. Tigers, chance to steal this science species category. This big African antelope has a large head, long curved horns, thin legs, and a horse-like tail. It's one of the speediest animals of southern Africa. Gotham.
A pronghorn.
It is not a pronghorn. We were accepting wildebeest or a gnu, either one of those. Tigers, you have the next category, and it's military history. A UN force was sent to this island in 1964 to maintain peace between Greeks and Turkish residents. Name the island. Holden.
Cyprus.
It is Cyprus. U.S. history for you, Vikings. There were two battles of the wilderness in American history. One was during the French and Indian War, and the other was when? Cole?
Civil War.
Civil War is correct. Tigers, literature is your category. Who was the only character in the novel Moby Dick who was rescued? Gotham?
Ishmael.
Ishmael is correct. Vikings, artist is your category. The English scene Norham Castle at sunrise was painted by one of the country's masters. Who was he? Time on that one. Tigers, chance to steal this artist category. The English scene Norham Castle at sunrise was painted by one of the country's masters. Who was he? Joseph Turner. Joseph Turner, household name in Britain. All right, as we enter the first round, we do have a Blue Valley with a slight lead of 13 to Shawnee Mission West 11. Normally in our regular season, we go to members of our teams for a campus update, but during the playoffs, we are awarding our regular season trophies and medals. So as you look at the graphic on our screen, we do have our top scorers of the season. And we had Blue Valley West finishing first at 4-0, and Blue Valley finishing at 4-0. But by virtue of Blue Valley West answering more questions correct, at 55%, they took first place. Blue Valley with 49% takes second place. Shawnee Mission West with 59% and a record of 3-1 is in third place. So as here we go. And I will give these to you there. This is for your team and those alternates that are not here today. So you can hand those out. And then also you could proudly display this regular season third place trophy in the front office at Shawnee Mission West. Yeah, I know it's awesome.
Yeah.
All right.
It's pretty.
And our regular season second place winners is Blue Valley High School. And then I will give you these medals to distribute to your team members as second place finishers. And then also you can display this at the front office at Blue Valley High School, and I think that they will be honored to have that academic recognition as well as all the athletic recognition that you guys received. So as we head into our second round, we are determining who is going to be our next contestant in our finals. As in our first game in the semifinals, Blue Valley West had advanced to our championship game, and Blue Valley North will be playing in our consolation game, and then we will also have our winner from this game going on to take them on in the championship game in 2 weeks. So both teams, as we head into the second round, it is the lightning round. And let me remind that both teams, that make sure I do call on you before you answer. If a team does ring in and respond incorrectly, the other team will get a chance to steal. So both teams, here we go. The first category of the lightning round is mythology. This group of goddesses avenged wrongs, tormented criminals, and inflicted... Holden.
Furies.
Furies is correct. Current events for both teams. The last surviving American World War I veteran recently passed at the age of 110. Name him. Holden.
Smith.
It is not Smith. Vikings. Chance to steal this current events question. The last surviving American World War I veteran recently passed at age 110. Name him. It's Frank Buckles. Frank Buckles. Both teams' economics vocabulary is the category. A monopoly is a market with only one seller. What is a monopsony? Elin.
A market with only one buyer.
Only one buyer is correct. World geography for both teams. What two countries lie between China and India in the Himalayas? Cole.
Bhutan and Nepal.
Those are the two. Government law for both teams. It's a fairly long question, so here we go. In international law, it is defined as the crime of robbery on the high seas or in the air above the high seas, committed by the captain or crew of a ship or plane when... Elin?
Piracy.
Piracy is correct. U.S. geography for both teams. The last major battle fought before the American forces camped at Valley Forge was Germantown. What large city is close to Germantown? Cole?
Philadelphia.
Philadelphia is the right answer. Vocabulary for both teams. From the Old English word for bake, it's the amount of cookies made in one baking. What's the word? Elin?
Dozen.
It is not a dozen. West, chance to steal this vocabulary question. From an Old English word for bake, it's the amount of cookies made in one baking. What is the word? Cole?
Batch.
It is batch. Fine arts, painters for both teams. Name the best known artist of the American Indian. He devoted his life to depicting the Indians of Western Plains in their traditional surroundings. He completed over 500 drawings and paintings of Indians. Gotham? Cole. It is not Cole. Shawnee Mission West, you have a chance to steal this fine arts painters category. Name the best known artist of the American Indian. He devoted his life to depicting the Indians of the Western Plains in their traditional surroundings. He completed over 500 drawings of, and paintings of Indians. It's George Catlin. George Catlin. History is the next category for both teams. Which gang of outlaws did horse thief Belle Starr hide at her ranch? Cole.
Jesse James's gang.
Jesse James's gang, that is correct. Literature for both teams. Brave New World is Aldous Huxley's futuristic 1932 novel. What future century was it about? Evan?
The 25th.
25th century. With that correct response, you have evened up the score at 16 apiece. Math is the next category for both teams. Change the decimal 0.45 to a fraction and reduce it to lowest terms. James.
9/20.
9/20 is correct. Children's literature is the category for both teams. Rudyard Kipling wrote a story about an animal who went on a journey to the great gray-green Limpopo River to find out what the crocodile had for dinner. What was the animal? Elin.
Bear.
It is not a bear. Shawnee Mission West, chance to steal this children's literature question. Rudyard Kipling wrote a story about an animal who went on a journey to the great gray-green Limpopo River to find out what the crocodile had for dinner. What was the animal? Julia.
A hippo?
It was not a hippo, it was a baby elephant.
Sorry.
World geography for both teams. Name any 4 of the 5 landlocked nations of Asia. Cole.
Mongolia. Mongolia.
Done. Blue Valley, chance to steal this world geography question. Name any 4 of the 5 landlocked nations of Asia. Gotham.
Mongolia, Nepal, Bhutan, and Tibet.
Cannot accept that, I'm sorry. Mongolia, Bhutan, Nepal, Afghanistan, and Laos would have been the 5. Science, anatomy for both teams. It's a fairly long question. Here we go. The longest nerve in the human body runs down the back of the thigh and into the leg. There is pain along the course of this nerve, and sometimes a wasting of the muscles in the calf if one suffers from a form of neuralgia or neuritis, which takes its name from the nerve itself. Can you name this nerve? Gotham.
The neurotic nerve.
That is incorrect. Vikings, chance to steal the science anatomy question. It's the longest nerve in the human body and runs down the back of the thigh into the leg. There is pain along the course of this nerve and sometimes a wasting of the muscles in the calf if one suffers from a form of neuralgia or neuritis, which takes its name from the nerve itself. Can you name this nerve? Victor?
Neural.
No, that is incorrect. We're looking for sciatic nerve. Both teams, literature is the category. What heavy breed, according to Sherlock Holmes' chronicler Dr. Watson, was crossed with a bloodhound to produce the Hound of the Baskervilles? Gotham.
A mastiff.
It is a mastiff. Art for both teams. Whose fresco, the School of Athens, was completed in 1511? Julia.
Raphael.
Raphael is correct. Geography, specifically Australian geography. Which of the following cities is located more or less in the center of Australia? Is it Sydney, Perth, Alice Springs, or Gundagai? Cole.
Alice Springs.
Alice Springs is correct. Once again, you have tied up the score at 18 apiece. Fine arts, cinema is the category. Name the movie associated with this memorable line by a character played by Peter Finch. I'm as mad as hell, and I'm not going to take this anymore. Holden?
Gone with the Wind.
It is not Gone with the Wind. Vikings, chance to steal this fine arts cinema question. Name the movie associated with this memorable line by a character played by Peter Finch. I'm as mad as hell, and I'm not going to take this anymore. Victor?
North by Northwest.
That is also incorrect. We're looking for network. Network. Spelling is the next category for both teams. Defined as inflamed with love, spell enamored. Alan.
ENAMORED.
That is correct. Grammar for both teams. What type of pronoun is the second pronoun in this line? I myself have seen. James.
Intensive.
It is an intensive pronoun. That is correct. General knowledge for both teams. The average number of years that a person of given age will continue to live is called what? Cole.
Expected lifespan.
Expected lifespan or life expectancy, either one. Science for both teams. What is the name of the coil of wire which produces current in a generator and torque in an electric motor? Gotham.
An actuator.
That is incorrect. Vikings, chance to steal this science category. What is the name of the coil of wire which produces current in a generator and torque in an electric motor? It's armature. Armature. World history for both teams. Upon their first meeting, Golda Meir said she didn't know if they would win the Nobel Peace Prize, but they should both be up for an Oscar. What historic meeting was she commenting on? Cole?
Camp David Peace Accords.
I cannot accept that. I am sorry. Tigers, chance to steal this world history category. Upon their first meeting, Golda Meir said she didn't know if they would win the Nobel Peace Prize, but they should both be up for an Oscar. What historic meeting was she commenting on? Holden.
Camp David.
Cannot accept that either. We're looking for the specific names between Anwar Sadat and Menachem Begin. Both teams, literature is the category. It's a quote. If God did not exist, it would be necessary to invent him. What 18th century philosopher and writer made this statement? James.
Voltaire.
Voltaire is correct. World history for both teams. Who were Wang Haowen, Yao Wenyan, Zhang Guokao, and Jiang Qing? Cole.
Korean generals.
Cannot accept that. Tigers, chance to steal this world history question. Who were Wang Haowen, Yao Wenyan, Zhang Guokao, and Jiang Qing? Holden.
Chinese warlords.
Cannot accept that. They were the Gang of Four, the famous Gang of Four. Science, measurement for both teams. Tell me what these units measure. Parsec. Gotham.
Measures distance.
Cannot accept that. I'm sorry. Vikings. Science, measurements, the category. Your chance to steal. Tell me what these units measure. Parsec. Cole.
Time.
That is not time. We're looking for interstellar distance. Interstellar distance. Knowledge, proverbs, or general knowledge, proverbs for both teams. I'll explain it prosaically, and you recite the proverb. It does not do any good to be unhappy about something that has already happened or that can't be helped. Gotham.
What's done is done.
Can't accept that. Travis.
Not worth crying over spilt milk.
That is correct. U.S. geography for both teams. Which southern lake ranks second in size to Lake Michigan among freshwater lakes entirely within the United States? Cole?
Lake Okeechobee.
Can you repeat that, please?
Lake Okeechobee.
It is Lake Okeechobee. That is correct. We will accept that. Film and stage is the next category for both teams. Name the male star of Neil Simon's Barefoot in the Park on both stage and film. Gotham?
Marlon Brando.
It is not Marlon Brando. Vikings, chance to steal this this film and stage category. Name the male star of Neil Simon's Barefoot in the Park on both stage and film. Cole?
Jim Carrey.
It is Robert Redford. I am sorry. We did end up our regular time here with the score of 21 apiece, which means we are going to overtime, which is a best of 5 scenario in which I will ask 5 questions, and whoever has the best score after 5 will win. If we have a tie after 5 questions, we will go to sudden death on each question. And so let me count off the questions here. All right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right, here we go. Both teams, it is a lightning round, so both teams hands on the buzzer. It is Shakespeare for our category. What advice does Hamlet give to Ophelia, bidding her to live a life? Gotham?
Get thee to a nunnery.
Get thee to a nunnery is correct. Sports. What Hall of Famer held records for the games played, total bases, runs batted in, and times at bat, as well as his most famous record when he retired in 1976? Cole.
Cal Ripken Jr.
That is incorrect. Tigers, chance to steal this sports category. What Hall of Famer held records for games played, total bases? Holden?
Mickey Mantle.
It is not Mickey Mantle. It is Henry Aaron. Hank Aaron had those records when he retired. Mythology for both teams. Name the sea nymph who was able to escape the amorous attentions of both Zeus and Poseidon due to a prophecy that she would bear a son greater than his father. Cole.
Thetis.
That is correct. Vocabulary for both teams. What adjective often precedes masonry in order to distinguish the fraternal organization from James?
Free.
Free is correct. Literature is the next question for both teams. A legendary cowboy rode a cyclone by lassoing it with his rope. Name this tall tale wrangler created by Harold Felton. Julia?
Pecos Bill.
It is Pecos Bill. And at the end of 5 questions, we have a tie. So we are going to go to sudden death. Or sudden victory, as I should say. It's not as violent as it should be. All right, there we go. All right, math is the category for both teams. How many 2-ounce hamburgers can be made from 3 pounds of meat? Cole.
36.
It is not 36. Tigers, chance to steal and win the game here with the correct answer. How many 2-ounce hamburgers? Elin?
24.
24 is correct. And with a outstandingly played game going into a double overtime, so to speak, Blue Valley does advance to our finals game against Blue Valley West in 2 weeks, and Shawnee Mission West will advance to our consolation game played next week versus Blue Valley North. What an outstanding competition again here today, and please join us for our conclusion of our season in the next 2 weeks as we bring you the best and brightest minds of high school students all across Johnson County. What a great game. Wow.